Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to another episode, GMAK, the Boiler Man. I hope you guys are having a tremendous day. Today is Labor Day for me. I'm sitting outside shooting some content for you because that's what we do here. We take a lot of time in producing some of these episodes, making sure that we bring you top quality content and things that I think people can relate to. I can sit on here and talk about the XYZs, or the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s, or whatever the hell you want to call it, but really take time to just talk about grassroots things, things that are truly important, things that are really poignant, and things that I think that can help you guys on your daily journey in this blue collar life. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, man. It's not very hard. You take your little finger there, or if you're on the computer, use your mouse and just click the button. It's not that hard. And also, while you're here, smash the like button, man. It really helps push the algorithm, push these videos up. We take a lot of time in creating this content for you. It's a little bit of a free attaboy for us, and it really helps us build the channel. So we appreciate you guys for being here. On this episode, I wanted to discuss with you something that was very important to me in understanding the business, but something my stepfather taught me a long time ago about being a blue-collar business owner. Specifically in the boiler trades that I'm in now, is that it's very hard for an individual to run a company when you don't have the knowledge of the operations of the company. Somebody can come in and understand paperwork and systems in the computer and the behind the scenes stuff and the back end of the business. No doubt that has its importance, and I'm not knocking its importance. But what is relevant is that I had to learn how to uh, do repairs and fix things from the ground up. Why? He had said to me when I first came in how important it was, not only just from the perspective of being someone who's always worked with his hands, but also when you deal with customers in my type of business, I have to be able to provide explanation for why it is or why it isn't something that we're doing inside of their prospective boiler rooms. So when I first got to the business, I had already been working my hands for years. So talking to me about working my hands wasn't a difficult conversation. But I also, as somebody that's coming in to learn a new business and possibly take over that business, you want to do everything that's necessary for sure, but you just never know where the path is going to take you. And, some guys come into a family business. Now, GMAK into itself is not a family business. And that's a topic for a different day. It never played itself out where I ended up taking over the company for him. But with that being said, when I first came in, that's how I learned, right? He didn't take anything for granted, nor did I. And I had to work 10 times harder than the next guy because as a son of the business owner, or a stepson for that matter, of the business owner, everybody's looking at you as if, you're next in line, or you have, a leg up on the rest of the guys or on the competition or whatever. And the reality is I had to work that much harder than everybody else. I had to show up 10 times earlier than the other guys. I had to be the one showing up and showing out every single day. I never left a stone unturned. And a lot of that was for myself. And the other part is how I represent myself for him, because he's the one giving me the opportunity. And like I said, everybody in the is waiting for you to fail. So if you're in a family business, this is a great video for you. But in general, also, if you get yourself into an opportunity where you have an opportunity to take over a business, you got to learn the business through and through. And that's the back end too. Like for me, I understand a little bit about the back end of the business. I don't know much. I don't take a lot of time on it, but I have to have a general understanding of how that operates, right? But the crux of our business is the day-to-day operations. It's the repairs, what's being done, how to repair it, because there's many layers to this. The biggest layer also is your guys' reliance on your ability to fix things, because who do they have to turn to if they can't figure out a problem, right? So there's a ladder system basically in these businesses. We have guys at the top who know X, Y, and Z, myself included. Then we have guys at the second tier who know a lot, who still rely on us. Then there's people below even them. So when they get on the job site, they're relying on them, right? We're constantly, rolling this thing downhill. So everybody has an understanding of where their place is. But the biggest part of that is learning everything from the ground up. So if I'm taking a guy like my stepson's working for me now and I'm taking him from the ground up. Well, I expect the same thing that I gave from my stepfather when I came into the business. I expect you to be early because early is on time, not on time is late to me, in my opinion. And these are things I tell them all the time. Like, everybody's waiting for you to fall flat on your face. Everybody's waiting for you to fail. As much as you're a good guy and you have the right intentions, and some of my guys are not like that, but in life, this is how it goes. When somebody has an opportunity, others people want to see you squander that opportunity because they feel they'll never have that opportunity. It's very important to take the time to learn your craft and learn it thoroughly and ask a lot of questions and then be somebody other people can rely on. Because that's basically what I've become now that I have my business and we've been in business for 6 years. So obviously in that 6 years, I've learned even more than I knew before. But even when we started it, I had a very good foundation of knowledge that when questions were asked or customers were not sure where we left them, they had a contact that they can get in touch with and learn from, because that's one of my biggest jobs as a business owner, is being able to explain and let the customer also comprehend, right? Because there's a language involved in our business. I have to be able to speak to them in more of a layman's term, but also speak very thoroughly about what's happening so they feel confident at the end of the day that the job you're doing is the right job. You guys have heard me do videos talking about not being a parts changer and being more of a technician, and that goes along with it. So when they speak to me, they know I'm speaking to them in terms of being a tech and not just being a guy that's trying to change parts. And even still to this day, when we've tried to sell a part, but the part wasn't actually necessary, we won't sell that part because it's also a part of being honest. But the biggest part is not taking for granted the knowledge that you need from top to bottom. So in my specific business, it's learning the wiring, learning the combustion, learning how to, handle the job from the ground up, understanding the systems, understanding steam, understanding hydronic systems. If you're in contracting, it's understanding how to build the house from the ground up, all the parts in between. Even when you're GCing, I got to have an understanding of electrical, other things, because there's always going to be a customer, somebody that you have to explain these things to. So with that being said, these were the biggest lessons I've learned. And even at the time that I didn't thoroughly understand why he was saying it or why he put me through it, because he put me through it when I got into the business. But now, as time has evolved and I've gotten older and I have my own company, I thoroughly understand it. And I couldn't be more appreciative to him to push me out on that ledge to learn all this stuff, because I wouldn't be where I am today without it. And, I have a business partner, but he's also been more of the office guy. You need to have a dynamic where at least one of those guys knows the mechanical side. You cannot build a business of our nature without having some kind of knowledge of the mechanical, where a customer can get in touch with you, have the confidence to understand that what you're telling them is factual, what you're telling them makes sense, and what you're telling them is going to help them through the issue that they're having. So again, this is another short one. I've done a bunch of these shorter videos because I don't think I need to go long on every video. Sometimes when we're getting into more explanation, it's important to go into more depth. But on these, it's very surface level, but super important. And they're things that we want to share with you guys. Again, everything you ever hear us talk about is our own personal experiences, my personal experiences in these businesses, and in business in general. Because in reality, we're just trying to build a channel to bring awareness around blue collar businesses, plumbing business, construction business, whatever it may be, because all of these things that I talk about when it comes to blue collar life, running business, things like that, can be applied to any area that you're working. It doesn't really make a difference because these are all surface level problems. Now, obviously, when I get into more of the systems on the stuff that I work on, maybe you're a contractor, maybe it doesn't apply to you, then I guess you could skip the video, but please still hit the like button. It still helps us. But these things are so friggin' important, man. If you're really trying to grow a business, you're trying to grow a brand, you're trying to do certain things, you really have to take time and be detail oriented. Make sure you have knowledge in the field that you're working on. It's really going to help you build your business. It's going to help build the know, like, and trust you have with your customer. Because at the end of the day, that's what's paramount, and that's what's going to help you build your business. I hope you guys got something out of this, man. I really I to take the time to come up with different topics and things that I find that are very helpful, things that really help me along my journey. Again, I only speak to you from my own personal experiences. I don't, I'm not a chat GPT guy, although I do use it. but I don't use it for this matter. I really come on here just talk to you about my experiences. I have a list of experiences and things I've done over the years to kind of help shape who I am, where I've become as a business owner, as a technician, as a teammate, all the things. And that's what I come on here to share with you guys. So if you don't mind and you have a question or you feel differently or you want to have a discussion, man, drop a comment below too, man. I respond to every comment that's dropped, whether it be positive or negative. It doesn't really matter. I always like to get the conversation rolling. So drop a comment below. Don't be afraid. We appreciate you guys being here as usual. Thank you for taking the time to listen. If you made it this far, you're a man or woman, and we appreciate you. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're building big business. Keep at it. Peace.